Hi Nirantar. Today we'll be looking at map as we discussed in the last video of histogram and Pareto. Whenever you see a map chart, what comes to your mind?
Okay, so if the map gives us the idea about the where about the location of any event happening.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have sales and we want to see how the sales are in a particular location are distributed, so we can plot them on the map and using the color gradient we can identify where the maps where the cells are more than
Correct.
that.
Correct. So just for an example, I've just created a random data set. I just had a country list. I generated a random population. It might be wrong or right. I don't know. It's just that it's random in nature. So what we will do is we will select country column, which is the country code, and simultaneously we'll select population. We'll go to insert, maps, and world map. It generally takes some time to get populated. Okay, it is populated now. Like I mentioned, it might be right and wrong, and it's wrong in a lot of sense. The highest population is, let's say, in Antarctica, which is not true. And Canada, Brazil could have more population. That's fine. The Brazil is densely populated country. Canada is something else off. But whatever I'm trying to present to you is something that you already mentioned, that this current gradient would help you identify who are the higher contributor into the entire world in terms of population. Right now it's showing as Antarctica, Canada, and Brazil. But like I mentioned, this is random data. I just used a rand between function of 100k to some 100 million data points. So if you see that color gradient will help you understand how the distribution is again between different geographies. So any example that you could think of any industry would use in terms of using this visualization particularly?
Okay, as I said, if they have multiple locations and multiple stores at multiple locations and they want to identify where they are facing losses
Mm-hmm.
or there is a less profit, so they can identify by mapping the profit values with this map. And
Correct.
yeah, they can identify the locations where they need to work to improve
Correct.
the sales and profit.
Correct. So profit is one single metric that you mentioned, and like you mentioned, it could be replicated to anything else as well. uh, it could be your number of orders, where you are, let's say you own a e-commerce business and that works in, let's say, 100 different countries like Amazon. How your order volume is distributed, what are um, different metrics around those locations of 100 countries, how they are performing. So in Excel it's just that you have very static visualization. But let's say if you go into Tableau or Power BI, what you will have a drill down option. So you could start with, let's say, country, but then let's say you want to deep dive into a country. For example, you do business in US, Canada, and India, and you started with US, but now you realize that you want to look at Canada businesses as well. Now you will go to Canada, you will drill down. Now it will be presenting an state view for you. So what is happening around those states? That's one piece that you could figure out. Now once you figured out that piece of states, you can go maybe one level below, which is maybe cities, or zip codes also. So that helps you understand that even on larger to smaller scale, how you are performing and where your business is concentrated and where it is not. Because if your business is concentrated, they need to diversify it, right? Because if, let's say, your business is heavily dependent on US and US comes into the recession, now your entire business will get affected. If your business between distributed between US and Europe, then you might have lesser problems compared to just having a business with US. Any doubts on the map piece?
No.
No. So I guess that's it for map. Map mentioned that geographical data like country, region, state, province, county, postal code. So the lowest granularity that you can achieve in map is the postal code, or we call it pin code in India, and generally US or Europe call it zip code. Right. So great. Thank you for joining. I hope this chart series have been very helpful in terms of understanding the visualizations. Soon we will finish this up and we will move to the next part where we'll try to learn some technical knowledge about SQL and Tableau.
Thank you.
Thank you.